So this is a Division 1 match between Firewaster and Jarm0u. No, in my opinion, the two sexiest SMKs around. I'm sure many would agree with me. Firewaster is Guilherme Arantes. He comes from Brazil. He's ranked 6th on NTSC and 12th on. He's recently set a world record on Choco Island 2. 12:59, I believe, owing to a new strat that he discovered. And he's also held PAL world records on VL1 in the past, as well as numerous NTSC world records. Paper, so he's perhaps the favourite in this match, but there is definite potential for this to be very close. Issues have been cleared up there. And we're ready to go on Mario Circuit 3. Very MBT heavy course, this one. A lot of zigzagging and a lot of jumping across sand. Known as an MBT. It's discovered in 2004. So nothing very new. Guilherme, Firewaster with his trademark crash. He loves a crash on a one try. Keeping it quite close at the moment, I believe. Let's see when they both cross the line. 38 seconds, 38. So they're dead heat despite it being slightly desynced at the moment. Up before the hairpin. For Firewaster, let's put it in Sophie's or Jarm0u's court there. Sophie, that should be putting her at 1-0. I must remember to update the scores. It's very easy to just watch the match and expect someone else to be doing that for you. But it's on me this time. Definitely looks like Sophie is going to be taking this one. 134, just in the end. Firewaster wasn't far off claiming that one back. So it's 1-0 to Sophie. So just to follow up on the background of the players, went into what Firewaster, where he's from and how good he is. Sophie, Jarm0u, she is Sophie. She's a French masquerading as a Belgian. Couldn't resist that one. She's ranked 43rd on PAL. Perhaps better versed in multiplayer SMK, but it's a very solid time trialer. She's shown significant improvements in the last year or so and counts a high level of consistency is one of her strengths. So she should definitely not be underestimated, as she has shown going 1-0 up. Yeah. Now, this is Cooper Beach 2, a track I'm certainly not a fan of. You go die in a fire as far as I'm concerned. MBT heavy. You've to maintain full speed across this one, you've really got to boost across the big water section there, which is quite difficult at the best of times, especially with bad fish placement, as also known as fish RNG, as Sophie catches one to the face there. It's a big thing in SMK, fish RNG. It's all about the fish placement. Firewaster driving quite solidly here, actually. You'll see them finish in the deep water, actually, if you finish in line with the finish line. Just into the ocean there, it actually saves quite a bit of time. So just outside the sub-minute there. Draws it back level. looks of it. Vanilla Lake 1, this is a course which favours Firewaster here. He's held world records in the past on this one. Set one at the World Championships, I believe, in 2009. I witnessed him do it. Very long time ago now, though. And missing the zoom, that's such a death sentence, especially on quite a short track like this. In Sophie's favour, though, this track, there's a lot of crashing to be done. So she could pull it back by the looks of things. She's having a horrendous first lap here. Crosses the line 20 seconds for the first lap there. That's going to be quite the gap to catch back to Firewaster, considering he's just gone into lap 3. Now it should be quite a simple route to victory for Firewaster here. You've got to be clearing those ice blocks, otherwise they will be just slowing you down all the time. There for Firewaster, but he still gets the sub-minute. Quite a respectable time for a one try. Sophie having all sorts of trouble on this course. I think she'll be swearing a lot back in back at home there. She won't have liked that one. So 2-1 to Firewaster. This one could go really close. Firewaster on paper is the better player. You know, had world records, ranked top 10, but he is prone to a crash. He sort of drives one way, which is pretty much as fast as possible. Whereas Sophie is a lot more consistent. So the gap between the top players and a player of Sophie's level who's ranked in the 40s isn't massive, and a crash or a missed zoom start could certainly bring it close, a lot closer. So Choco Island 2, a track which I know David Moll absolutely hates. He says this is the worst track in the game, and I'd be inclined to agree with him. Once again, you've got to be boosting across this big lake, otherwise you're going to be losing lots of time. I'm pretty sure most people are pretty well versed in how the boosting works in Mario Kart by now, Super Mario Kart by now, but just to refresh anyone who doesn't, if you do a long turn while holding the power slide and then release the button, the jump button, you'll get a boost, which temporarily makes you go a bit quicker, and you can go across dirt areas. If you've got a modified MBT pad, or if you're lucky enough to have one which just does it out of the box, you can, instead of doing the big turns, you can do a big left and right wiggle, zigzagging, and then release it as the same effect. And that's what the players are doing here. A very solid 107.10 from Firewaster. That was a very good time, that. So he moves 2 ahead to 3-1. It's a tricky track, that one. If you're not well versed in the MBT spots, you're going to be losing speed. So it's 3 in a row for Firewaster. Flying the flag for South America. Oh, we're on to BC3. Bowser Castle 3. Certainly up there in the top 3 for the toughest tracks in the game, this one. A bit of RNG in it with the 4 thwomps down the one of the infield straights. And if they're all down, unless you can perform a 1 pixel trick, you crash, basically. First lap. So they both get the zoom start, but immediately a crash from Firewaster there, giving Sophie the advantage, but that can be quickly reeled back in on this track. Lots and lots of opportunity to crash. Ooh, concrete drown as well for Firewaster. looking to be doing is hopping those yellow bumpers, because they do slow your speed down. So you'll, over the amount of bumpers you'll be going around here, it's probably over a second a lap you'd be losing if you're not hopping them, as opposed to hopping them. But then you run the risk of slightly misjudging it, just like Firewaster has done there, and end up in the lava, losing yourself a lot more time. Having a lot of crashing, but I think Sophie's ahead there. Yeah, just gone into lap 4, a long way ahead. Considerably ahead there. If she just keeps it safe now, hopefully doesn't get caught up in these thwomps, she should be okay, though Firewaster is certainly coming back. Oof, she's got caught up in the thwomps. This is going to be a very tight finish. Coming around the last corner together. What's it going to be? A 151, 60. Oof, within half a second. Good game, Sophie. She gets one back there. Let's be seeing some nice close races like this. In this top division, I think we'll certainly be seeing some very tight matches. Because a lot of the players are very evenly matched. Even the players which are on paper ranked a bit lower, like McNuggets or Jarm0u, they can still definitely take some points off of the top players. So on to Choco Island 1, there's a trick there which you just saw Firewaster do, known as the wall hop. It can save you about a second or so a lap if you're pretty good at doing it. And he'll be going for this every single lap there. You'll cut off that corner and boost across the mud. And as you can see, he's built up. Oh no, he hasn't actually. They're very tight there. Sophie's been very consistent. She's going for it, and commentator's curse, she crashes. That's a shame. Should be straightforward now for Firewaster. He won't just take the easy route. He'll still be going for the wall hop every lap. That's how he goes, gung-ho the whole way. He won't be going for it now. Yeah, he had a crash. Oh, that is a terrible crash there. Sophie's definitely, if she goes for the big finish, could take this. Ooh. Oh wow, that was a tight one. 1400ths, just missed out. Two very close races in a row there. Very nice. (4-2), still a long way to go. This is obviously a best of 20. There's 20 tracks in Super Mario Kart, and they'll be playing them all in a random order, assigned by the game referee, who is today David Moll, I believe. This is the one, you've probably heard it before, but it's the great leveler when it comes to one-try competitions. So many people fall off here. There's a platform jump to be done, which is very easy to hop, very easy in theory, and it's known as the easiest platform jump in the game. But invariably, people fall off of it all the time. And I think I'm going to put my neck out and say one of them will fail it at some point during this run. Oh, Sophie's come off at a different place in the track. Guilherme's for the taking. He's just got a nail every platform jump here. He doesn't actually have to go for them now. Sophie's fallen off, but he will be. Firewaster entering his final lap here. He's got to keep it solid. Oh, he really took that one tight there. Could have very easily failed that, but he's going to see it home for another point. The gap's starting to widen a little bit now. Sophie needs to start winning a couple of races here. With 5-2, Firewaster ahead. The next course, Ghost Valley 2. I know a lot of people don't like this track. I happen to love it. I think it's a good one. One of the best, as long as you don't go for the platform jump. There is a platform jump in all the Ghost Valleys. But the one on Ghost Valley 2 is very difficult and only saves about half a second. You'll be seeing either of these players going for it in any regard. But this one is high potential, as we can see from the sync here, to be extremely close. Good non-MBT track, as we say, because you don't need any boosting to save any time here. You just need some tight driving lines. And almost an identical time there. Oh, Sophie very nearly crashes. She just caught a block. So I think Guilherme might well be a tenth or so ahead. But who knows? Are we going to see our first tie of the competition? We will soon find out. Oh, Sophie takes that one. Very good last couple of laps there. She tightened it up. To the flagship track of the game, Mario Circuit 1. Big MBT, they'll both be doing here across the sand. That's it. This one here, they're both going for it. Essential, really, if you want to have a good one-try time. So he's adding in the second corner boost there as well, so that might give him the advantage, provided he doesn't miss a boost. He's not going for it, or sort of going for it. Sophie keeping it clean. All it will take is one missed boost from Firewaster here. It's still very tight. He's getting these boosts, but they're a bit ragged. It. Very nearly missed the last corner there. Once again, a very close one there. 0.2 of a second in it. But it's another point to Firewaster. Very true, Mike. Firewaster did learn his trade on the NTSC version of this game, which isn't just a simply faster version than the PAL, it's a completely different game. The mechanics and the driving mechanics are different. And it's a whole different set of skills to learn, really. You can transition quite well when you know the game, but you certainly need a transition time to become sort of zoned into either NTSC or PAL, either one, when you switch from one to the other. And Firewaster has been playing a lot of NTSC lately. Road. Another track where falling off is almost a given at one point here, because to get good times you've got to hop those corners, and if you slightly misjudge a corner, you're in the abyss there. Still quite tight at the moment though. No crashes. Commentator's curse. Let's see. Crossing the lines very similar times again. I can't see this one going the whole way without someone coming off of it. Birds on that one though. I think Sophie's ever so slightly ahead here. Oh, I really want to see a tie at some point. Oh, Sophie had to take evasive action there. Ouch, so close. But a point for Sophie. I'm sure the last 5 races have all been within about a couple of tenths of each other. Very nice from both players there. Some great consistency. Mario Circuit 4. Boring this track is, so if anyone wants to do that sleeping guy emoticon from Twitch, I don't know what they're called, now's the time to do it. What's he called again? Resident Sleeper, that's the thing. Lots of opportunity to do MBTs in this track. Lots of corners to be cut. Consistent at it, you'll comfortably beat anyone who's not doing it. But it seems both of them are going for pretty simple, the last corner and the second corner, but Sophie's just crashed there. To pull back. And they just want to sort of hit thwomps or fall in lava or water or anything, so you're not going to be losing lots of time if you crash. So Mister has got enough of a lead here to be comfortable. Now Sophie there, she's a big crash. To win this one now, you'd need Firewaster to do a very big crash. Can't see it happening. She's been very solid actually since lap 1. A bit of a dodgy lap 1, and he's been pretty good there since. It's another point there. Firewaster. Race to forget for Sophie there. One. This has got potential to be a close one. Not many opportunities to crash if you're following the right racing lines. But then again, you've got to be hitting the zoom start. So Sophie, keeping this clean, she should be able to take this one. You'll see them once again hopping the yellow bumpers there. Oh. Firewaster's got to be hoping now for a crash, just like Sophie's done there. This is going to tighten it up. So the lava would be beneficial. She's still ahead though by a couple of seconds. Popping those, so that's going to bring Firewaster right back into this one. Synced again on this one. Look at this. Yeah, we've had a lot of sinkage in these time trial exhibitions and tournament matches. It's good to see. Second there, Firewaster over Sophie. He's jumps if Sophie's going to take this one. He doesn't. Good composure. Whoa, it was closer, a lot closer than I thought it would be there. By 0.3. Get two here. It's the one track in the game where you can you might be seeing some of the players go for what's known as a long boost. Long boost is where when they come around to the jump on the zippers there, they'll hop, and then if they time it right and keep that button, the hop button pressed, they'll fire off. We'll see. No, we're not going to see them go for it. They're just carrying a boost across, and they'll be able to cut this large section here at the start of the lap. But I think we're only going to be seeing it if someone has a crash. And Firewaster has just done that, so keep your eye on the left screen there. You might be seeing him doing some long boosting. Keeping it clean as she's been doing, not go for any long boosts. She should be taking this one. No, Firewaster's refusing long boosts. I thought he'd be going for it to try and make up some time. But even then, executed well, he only saving a second or two. Sophie's going to be clawing this one back. So point to Sophie. Nicely driven. Very solid. Very consistent. On to Bowser Castle 2. As Jarm0u saying in that chat there, it's a bit of an inside joke amongst people who play SMK that this is known as the whale shark. It's the longest track in the game. Track as well, very technical. Lots of corners, lots of tight corners, lots of chicanes, some bumper jumping in there, some thwomps, some thwomp RNG. from Firewaster, but can be made up in this track. Drive this one clean for 5 laps. Should be an opportunity for him to close it back up. And around the corner Sophie's going around now is tight, but you've got the four swamps there, making it very difficult. Actually going over those bumper jumps, some of them are very difficult and very precise. To mess that up and take a drown. For Firewaster as well, so it's Sophie's got quite a commanding lead now. So looking about 5 seconds. Seconds ahead. Sophie, she's gone sailing into the lava there. What a gift! What a gift! Easy for Jarm0u to crash here. Firewaster to crash. Makes it around safely. Oh, what a gift from Sophie that one was. She had that one in the bag. Firewaster 1 away from the 10. Worth noting in this tournament here that you, regardless, even if you just sort of make it over the line, and because obviously 11 tracks is a win, we'll play all 20 tracks because the groups are decided not by match wins but by how many races you've won. So if you lose 11-9, it's a lot better than losing 20-0 because you've got 9 more points than 0. Simple, really. But, so you could lose your 3 matches 11-9 and still have a very good chance of qualifying, actually. One. Once again, an extremely MBT heavy, boosting heavy track. Makes it a lot easier. There are non-MBT ways of doing it, but it's very difficult. So you'll be seeing both of these players go for lots of boosts, lots of water slides. Water slides is just going full speed and hopping sideways and releasing the hop button into the water, and you'll just sail through it with a decent amount of speed. The final corner hop there, cut, sorry, we like to call that the Carol corner because Carol so often just has to make it around that corner and finish just to win whatever match he's in, but invariably doesn't and goes for the hop and falls in the water and loses. So it's been named after him. Been driven pretty well here by Firewaster. Should be going a sub-minute time, but Sophie isn't far behind, and he's missed the boost there. 55 seconds. Very, very good time from Sophie there. Crash as well. Very good for one try. Keeping the match alive. Yeah, wouldn't take much. A couple of races here for Sophie, so it goes right to the line. It's crucial. Donut plane's 1. A lot of boosting again. you'll be seeing that first corner boost and the last corner boost from both players. Saving lots of time, these two boosts. Better execution from Firewaster here is giving him the lead. They're both getting all the boosts, but Sophie's a little bit more ragged around the edges. It's about 2 seconds behind now. That's still only just a crash, really. One crash from Firewaster, and that will be right back to being close again. There's someone just knocking at my door.
Got one there for Kart? Yeah, that's me. Thank you very much. Cheers, thank you. Bye.
Another one. That takes it to 10 for Firewaster. I do apologise about that. Now to Ghost Valley 1. No, it wasn't food, it's something I'd ordered. It's actually, funnily enough, Mario Kart Deluxe on the Switch. Just decided to order it. We got a platform jump on this one on Ghost Valley, as they all do, but this one's very difficult. Unless you're a bit mad, you won't be going for it in a one try. Of course, there are exceptions. Probably the two players coming up in the next match, Anti-Star versus McNuggets. Both of them are probably the two who would go for it. So as to be expected on the Ghost Valley 1, we're pretty synced up here. So maybe with ever such a small lead. Hard to call. Quite a simple track, difficult to crash. So close to the tie. I think that's the closest we come. 0.6 or 0.06 of a second between them there. Wow, very cool. That's match for Firewaster, but as I said earlier, we're going to be seeing out the last three tracks here. Couldn't go wrong on this one. Langerak raced this the other day. He absolutely bossed it. Made it look easy, but it is definitely not an easy track, this one. Bridge with a gap in it which you have to hop, otherwise you drown. Hairpins. So far. I do predict a crash at some point on this one there. Excellent showing in this match, it has to be said. Firewaster is no slouch when it comes to this game. No crashes as yet. And crossing the line almost identically, which is a rare thing on Donut Plains 3. Could be anyone's. Slightly, just that last lap there for Firewaster sealed it. Very good last lap. They were pretty tight up until that. Excuse me. Two, yeah. On the face of it, a very difficult track, but actually I think most players will agree and find it very fun once you sort of found a route to go. To do it extremely well on world record level, I imagine it's very infuriating, but driving a one try, there's lots of different strats you can use, different routes you can go for, all with their own sort of equal risk reward. Dave, I know that feeling. And the ice blocks there. Water. Oh, and that is a ridiculous place to crash. He's just going to be okay, I think. Living life on the edge, living dangerously. Firewaster. Yeah, this track. If you watch the world record times on it, it is a joy to behold. It really is. I think the most. Oh, there we are. Donut Plains 2. It is certainly VL2 is certainly, I think, the most dazzling one to watch at the highest level. It really is. It takes a lot of skill to do that one, to do that track well. Final track. Donut Plains 2. Comfortable for Firewaster despite some very close races. I think we've had probably 7 or 8 within a few tenths of each other, and the closest we come is 600ths on what that was that now I've forgotten now. Ghost Valley 1. This track, but they shouldn't be bothering you if you're going the right racing line here. Looks quite tricky if you're new to the game in this one, but it's sort of there's a nice flow to this track. Route, found the right driving line. You can stay full speed quite easily. Right, still going to the last lap. About 2 seconds ahead. to bring it home, I think, for a 14-6 overall. Across the line to take it. 14-6 and a good victory there for Firewaster. I was expecting that one to be a lot closer than that, I think, but nonetheless, it's been a good match to watch and very tight races. But the fact that she's French, we'll be going to this has been restreamed on the French SpeedGaming channel, so I think she'll be going for an interview there. But I don't know if we'll get Firewaster on for a quick chat here. Let's have a look.
I've just... Well, thank you. We're going a waste of popping in. Actually 14-6. A minute or two before I'll mark this one done. Out to the runners, Firewaster and Jarm0u. Follow them on Twitch if you can. How do we do that? It's isn't it? Yeah, there we go. Okay then. Firewaster would have popped on by now. Were he going to? So thank you everyone for watching. Stay tuned for the next match. That's Anti-Star, former time trial world champion, versus McNuggets, the champion of Ireland. Should be a cracker of a match, that one. So I will. I'm not doing commentary on that one, so I will catch you some other time. Thank you. very much